Hi class, we talked about internal, external, operational, and executive stakeholders. We just introduced them. Now in your questionnaire, probably when you were thinking about questions, and we'll talk about that through the feedback I provide to you, you had a group of stakeholders in mind. Now I want you to think about which category of stakeholders you were thinking of when you design your questionnaire. And this is something that we will do as a group. I will have your questionnaires up on Reginet in a Google Doc, and then we go from there to discuss different groups of stakeholders that have been covered in your questionnaires. Now, when we want to ask our stakeholders questions, we want to know what they do with the system. Those are the themes that you see here. What is it that they do or they expect to do? So in this case, because this is a new system for a new colony, we want to know what they expect to do with that system. Now we also want to do how they do it, so the steps that they are taking to complete those activities. If there is a similar context like on Earth, there is a community, the steps people take to secure housing or apply for jobs. So what are those steps? We talk about that in analysis, and that is what we call process modeling. The first one is called requirements modeling. And then the last piece is that what information do you want from the system and what information do you provide to the system. This is what we call data modeling or domain modeling. So requirements modeling, process modeling, and data modeling, three major components of analysis, and these are the areas that we cover when we design our questionnaires. The next slide that I have here is examples of stakeholders for the SpaceColonylt Information Systems project. Some of you have already thought about this, some of you may have more examples. This is just something for you to look and probably think where your group of stakeholders are on this map. After this, we want to talk about functional and non-functional requirements. This is something I wanted you to just explore a little bit last week, but we're going to talk about them this week. Functional requirements are about the things the system does for you. So like I want to be able to deposit my check using my phone. Non-functional requirements are the way the system does it for you. How fast is it that I see my balance updated after I use my check, or I deposit my check using my phone? How reliable that is. So if I take a picture of $100 check, does it show $100 on my account, or is it gonna show $10 or $1,000? So is it accurate, the information that's been transferred? How secure is that? So if I'm using my phone, is it possible that somebody else will know the amount I deposited to my account? So these are the ways the system handles that feature, which is depositing the check using my phone. Now, I want you to keep that in mind, that non-functional requirements are the technical requirements. So it's hard for your stakeholders to formulate them. So what is security? What are the available ranges, or what is the spectrum? How much money do I have to spend to get a specific level of security? So non-functional requirements are like those technical quality requirements that your stakeholders probably in general they don't know a lot about. Let's look at the examples. As an account clerk, I want the balance sheet report. As an account clerk, I want the balance sheet report to be delivered within 2 minutes. So this is the quality. I want it fast. This is about the speed. There is an acronym called FURPS: functional requirements, usability requirements, reliability requirements, performance, security. And we have a plus here. Look at the examples here. The plus are your design constraints. Do you want the system to be designed in a specific way? Implementation, interface, how my system works with the other systems that already exist. So if I'm a Space Colony and you're designing a system for me, your system should talk to the space station or should talk to specific NASA subsystems. So those interfaces, what should they look like? How they should be designed to be compatible with what exists. Physical requirements. Do you have any physical limitations like the room, heating, cooling, the size of the equipment, or the places the equipment will be installed in? Like this is Mars, obviously there is a lot of limitation when it comes to physical aspects of your system. Support. Is there any idea how the system will be supported? What the updates and how the updates will be delivered. So all these ideas you have to keep in mind when you're in analysis, but we visit them more how can I say, rigorously in design phase. And these are the requirements that your stakeholders have little idea about. So you have to educate yourself, you have to educate your stakeholders, and then ask them for their recommendation or choices. Information gathering techniques that you worked on already. So there are different ways that you can gather information. You've already worked on your questionnaires, and some of the ideas that you used in your questionnaires, like the content, the response format, wording, and sequence. I had some examples here for you on things to do and not to do, and I didn't want you to read them before creating your questionnaires, but I'm going to make sure the feedback I provide to you is giving you a lot of these ideas that we have, and we'll share that with everyone in class. So that's all for now, and I'm gonna be back with more information about functional and non-functional requirements.